greetings from Collegedunia. Hope you are doing well, sir. We are glad to have you in our new series, Thoughtful Leaders. So, as a co-founder of UBS, can you throw some light on its genesis?
Sure. So thank you for this wonderful opportunity. We were three global business leaders who studied in the best business schools in the world, like Michigan Ross School of Business, Tuck Business School, IMD Switzerland, and IE Business School Spain. And both of us had graduated from Jamnalal Bajaj and SP Jain. So we said we'll get the best practices of global education to India. With the focus was going to be on the 3E framework, which was way back a decade ago. We decided that we want this institute to focus on ethics, environment, and experiential learning. So what we said is this is the backbone of the UBS, and we got 60 CEOs who were CEOs from top companies around the world like JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, GE, Novartis, and so on, to come and endorse us and support us in this initiation, where we said, how can we, our name is universal, how can we get global education to India? And so we said, let's get the best practices that are done in the world out there. And we became the first business school to be approved by AICTE. Yes, the first business school to get a PGDM with a foreign collaboration. And then we said, okay, we now have the right framework. Now, what do we do from a teaching perspective? We said we'll follow the Apple model. Why is the Apple phones the most revered phones in the world? They have great hardware and great software. So for an education institution, if you use that analogy, great hardware is, let's create the best infrastructure. So we got American architects to build a world-class campus in Mumbai, close to Mumbai, in a place called Karjat. And we said the software of any education institution is actually its faculty. So we insisted that only CEOs or people who've done business can teach our students. We saw that across the length and breadth of India, there were lots of education institutions where people were teaching leadership, but I've never done leadership. Now, I can teach leadership because I've had the privilege of leading multi-billion-dollar organizations. So that was the crux of what we decided to do with UTS.
Okay. Sir, that's definitely like a good thing. Sir, talking about the collaboration which you are saying, so can you throw some light on the exposure level, especially for the programs which are in collaboration with foreign universities?
Great. Yes, so we've partnered with the British, the French, the Swiss, the Italians, the Spanish, the American, the Mexican, and the Bulgarian universities, right? So across the globe, we said we'll get their global curriculum. We'll get their insights of cutting-edge learning, which they have developed and mastered over hundreds of years. Some of our partners are 100 years, 150 years, even 800 years old. So let's get the best of the world. Now, why are these universities in the top ranking globally? Because of the highest quality of global quality standards that they follow, and they are highly accredited. So we get that. We also ensure that the quality is imparted in our campus. So every paper of ours goes through 4 quality checks, which means it's corrected by 4 professors. Students have access to global libraries. So they have access to journals, more than 65,000 books around the world. Why do students, let's understand this, why do students want to join multinational corporations, right? They all want to be in an MNC. The reason is because of the global standards, the standard SOPs, the practices. So we said, can we become the MNC of global education in India? And the fun thing we've learned is students become the heart of everything that we do on campus, right? So from an exposure standpoint, students can actually complete their degrees going abroad for a year to Paris, to San Francisco. They can go for 3 months to Europe. They can go for a month to Europe. These are not sightseeing trips. They have to actually study programs. They have to complete credits. They will be assessed there. They will learn there. They will live there. It's not like a fly-by-night 1-2 week trips. These are real education is imparted when they go to these partners of ours.
So, sir, talking about the curriculum, like now we know that the industry trends are being continuously changed. So, how UBS is changing its curriculum, which will be in sync with the industry standards, let's say Industry 4.0?
Great. So, I'm going to be a little cheeky here. Everybody says we want to follow Industry 4.0. We believe we are industry because this college was built by industry for industry. We get CEOs coming in every week talking to our students. Students will have nearly a minimum of 50 to 100 CEOs speaking to them within a year. So the board is completely industry. The faculty is completely industry. Again, as I said, people who've run multi-billion-dollar organizations around the world. So that's the essence. We then say, how do we make sure that the learning, the pedagogy is going to stick with the students? And that's through our proprietary experiential learning models, where students actually do what they learn in the classroom, in companies, on campus, right? So there's a private limited company on campus where they actually impart their skills. And then we said, the world is moving towards, the whole focus on artificial intelligence, the focus on technology. So our MBA, our PGDM programs, all of them mandatory, we call them STEM infused MBAs. So essentially they start with basics of statistics, they get on to advanced Excel, then they go on to data analytics using R, then they go into data visualization using Tableau, then they move to predictive modeling, and then they go into artificial intelligence and machine learning. And yes, this is in an MBA program, right? Because that's the future, and therefore our students should be prepared for the same.
Sir, enough of this curriculum. Can you throw some light on the extracurricular activities, like which student can expect at UBS?
Sure. So I'll put it under three buckets. Firstly, the saying at UBS is we work hard, but we party harder. So we have 16 clubs. Firstly, let me just talk of the sports. So we are very big on sports. We have all the campus facilities that students would want, and MBA students, undergraduate students, they mandatory have to get onto the sports field or indoor sports field 2 times a week. That's part of their curriculum. Yeah, if you don't play, you don't get your credits. So it's very, very critical. So we have Olympics, we have pentathlons, a lot of emphasis on sports. The second bucket is experiential learning. Here we have stretch their mind. So we have the case blazer for 48 hours. Students are doing play cases without any sleep for 48 hours. There is the global trading competition. So they are actually, trading global cross-asset markets 24/7. They are trading on the NASDAQ. They're trading on the Bombay Stock Exchange. They're trading on the London Stock Exchange. They're trading on the Tokyo, and so on and so forth. So 75 live exchanges across bond markets, stock markets, commodity currency markets. This would be all under the experiential bucket. Then we have the fun and games. We have the Rush for Rush Festival. It's it's an adventures festival. So it's adventure, treks, built with business ideas. So we infuse that same. There's NV for dance, music, drama, fashion shows, music, mimicry, stand-up. I can keep going on. We have a once a year midnight sunrise, which is a party which never stops. It starts at midnight and it ends at sunrise, right? At 6 where DJs from all over India come and they play music throughout the night. So as I said, we work hard, but we party harder.
Yeah. Nice, sir. So amidst the lockdown, sir, what are your plans for the coming batch? Like in terms of induction, like what are your thoughts? Like how will you conduct those and classes?
Great. So we have created the most extensive induction program in the history of UBS. So this new batch which is coming is going to be amazed with 30 leaders. These are 10 CEOs, 10 industry faculty, and 10 of our illustrious alumni from all over the world, literally from all 3 continents, are coming in and talking to our students of the world. And they have worked in 25 countries, right? So this is like a global exposure, which is unmatched. We're going to start with live synchronous learning. It's not 100% as good in a face-to-face world, but it is what we can do in the circumstances, and our early reactions of our seniors has it is 80 to 85% good, right? This is going to be infused with a lot of co-curricular activities. The pedagogy is going to shift. The exam patterns are going to shift to take in to account Bloom's taxonomy, flipped classrooms, right? To study and then come and we'll discuss in the classroom. So there's a lot of engagement with the students, and it's all going to be tech enabled. So you have mobile apps which are booths. So like mini Facebooks for digital marketing, there could be for economics a Facebook booth. There could be for a marketing, or for finance, or for trading. So we are trying to inculcate what's the social media. Let's use the benefits of social media in a controlled environment, in a mobile app, so that they have the kind of engagement that they deserve.
That's really nice, sir. Sir, can you throw some light on how diverse is your current batch of students, and like what are the measures you take to so that to ensure there's no disparity among them?
Great. So we are, we've always been a massive diverse batch. We've attracted students from 20 countries. So this current batch, if I look at the current statistics, we have 20 students from 25 states, which is quite a high. Probably after Maharashtra, the rest of the states are, as I said, Maharashtra would count for less than 10% of the students. So we get all our students from other states, which is amazing. Our PGDM has 40% women, which is again a very high number compared to peers in this industry. So we encourage diversity. It's a way of life. It's something that we are very proud of.
Nice. That's excellent to hear. Sir, due to COVID, like students are very skeptical about the summer and the final placements. So what are your thoughts about this thing?
See, I think, the world has changed, right? Work from home is a new norm. Google, Facebook have said they're going to work from home for maybe 6 to 9 months, right? And after that, they are saying we might never go back to the old world. That's Google, Facebook. TCS has said that 75% of their employees will be working from home. That's 75%, not 30%, 75%. So the world has actually moved. The business world has moved to work from home. So the education world has to be the same, right? We are teaching them to be in the world of business. The business world, like you and I, are sitting in our residences and doing this, working. That's what the learning has to be. You cannot have two environments in a different way. So I think, this is the new normal. Students need to be able to navigate this, thrive through this new world. And so this is the best way. You're in the same world that you will go to. All our placement, our final placements and our internships went virtual, like the corporate world. They're doing phenomenally well. They're getting letters of appreciation for the amazing work they're doing. In fact, some of them are saying we're working more than we would have in the real world because now we don't have to travel. So we save 2 hours a day. That's actually, the company is getting the value of that in the work, right? And there's never a time, people are being woken up. So I think that's the new normal. And I would tell the students this way, right? The World War II was won by the strongest. The military were the strongest. The Americans, the British, they could produce better tanks and aircrafts and money. That's why they won. The Cold War between Russia and the United States was won by the smartest, the guys who were the amazing on intelligence. The new war, which is the COVID-19 war, this will be won by the most adaptable. So if you're not willing to adapt to the new normal, you are not meant for this new normal.
Sure, thanks. Exactly, sir. Rightly said. Sir, earlier you talked about the leadership thing, like you being one of the leader. So what is your philosophy on leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
Okay, so I would say in this world, and actually even in every scenario, I think leaders need to be completely open, fully transparent, and foster a culture of collaboration, because we are sitting in different parts of the country's world, So collaboration is going to be the way forward, right? How can we, without being together with each other, without putting the hand around the thing, how can we collaborate? So that's my leadership style. You need to be the explainer in chief, right? The world is complex. Not being, over simplistic, but be clear that this is the reality. Call a spade a spade. You don't need to fudge figures. You don't need to tell your employees what is. You need to tell them the reality. They will respect you, and then be committed to work with them to get through this thing, this issue, right? So I would call it, in simple terms, it's called the servant leadership model.
Okay, nice. So, sir, what are your expectations from the students who are going to be a part of UBS family from this year onwards?
I would say be a learner for life, be hungry to learn, because this is a fantastic opportunity. I would call it a fantastic opportunity for you to invest in yourself. There's going to be a lot more time that you have to yourself. Always show up, right? Those who do not show up are the guys who are going to be never going to the top of the corporate world. The other thing I would say is never waste a crisis. This is what Rahm Emanuel, the advisor to Barack Obama, said. Never waste a crisis. So this is the time to take advantage of this situation. Get ahead of the curve. Invest in yourself. There are lots of platforms out there who will, you can build certain nuggets of skill sets. So do that and inculcate the habit of reading, because that will open you to a new world of experience. And when you've read Elon Musk, and you've read Jack Ma of Alibaba, and you've read Phil Lynch of Wall Street, these things will go into your bloodstream, and you will realize that you start talking like them, you start behaving like them.
Nice, sir. So any, sir, final suggestion or message for the students who are aspiring to join your prestigious institute?
I'll just tell them, be all-rounders. That's what this world requires you. Gone are the days where you are going to be extra specialist. You're going to be made to do a lot more than you were, is your purview. I was very fortunate to become a global CEO at the age of 32 years, right? So why was that? That was because I was willing to continuously take risk, start embracing your failures. You just got to say, I love my failure, right? Not like putting it under the carpet, learn from it, move on. And come to UBS, you will learn from the leaders here. We are very excited to give. We're looking for keen takers.
Thank you, sir. That's really insightful. I hope the students who will hear to this video will definitely learn a lot from it.
Great. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.